But now in Revelation 18, we are reading the dirge of Jerusalem, the dirge for Jerusalem. In verse 21, the strong angel took up a stone like a great millstone and threw it into the sea. So will Babylon, the great city, be thrown down with violence and will be found no longer. In other words, she's thrown into the sea. She becomes lost in the sea of the Gentiles and of the nations. All right, this once central focus, this one place where God had decided to make for himself a place of holiness, a place where he could be accessed and known, is now just only good for just being thrown out into the sea and to be dissipated among the Gentiles. And then one last thing I want to point out about this also. Well, let's read 18, 22, and 23. This whole thing about the sound of the bridegroom and the bride this is not going to be heard in you anymore. But I want you to look at Jeremiah chapter 7 for a moment. Now, these are not just verses spoken out into air without meaning. There's a context here. Jeremiah 7, and I think it's verse 34. Yes. Notice what he says. This is very similar to Revelation 7:18. Then I will make to cease, get this, from the cities of Judah and from the streets of Jerusalem, the voice of joy, the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, the voice of the bride, and the land will become a ruin. This is precisely what John's telling us in Revelation 18. And so John is literally being given to quote right from Jeremiah, which in context is speaking concerning the destruction of Jerusalem in 586 BC by Nebuchadnezzar and the Chaldeans, okay, the Babylonian Empire. And as I've been saying all along through this entire book, and through my entire discussions, that the core meaning of what I've tried to get across through the book, Threshold of Exile, is understanding how these New Testament texts mine the Old Testament scenarios, the Old Testament situations, and bring them back to life in their own time, because what happened to Jerusalem in 586 BC, what happened to the northern kingdom of Israel in 722 BC, these were all going to come back full cycle on John's own contemporary audience, you see. He's not speaking of something off into the future. He's saying this is telling his own nation, this is about to happen, okay? This is all looking at first century Jerusalem and a coming destruction and a mournful destruction of a great city that had once been the city of God but was now a harlot.